Is blastocyst culture better than cleavage stage transfer in IVF? When it comes to in vitro fertilization, a key question arises. Is blastocyst culture better than cleavage stage transfer? Both methods have unique advantages and disadvantages that are important for individuals considering fertility treatments. Cleavage stage transfer involves transferring embryos to the uterus around 3 days after fertilization. At this point, the embryo has undergone several cell divisions but is not yet fully developed. On the other hand, blastocyst culture allows embryos to develop 5 to 6 days until they reach the blastocyst stage. This stage is closer to when implantation naturally occurs in the uterus. One of the main benefits of blastocyst culture is improved implantation rates. This method allows for the selection of the healthiest embryos, which can lead to a higher chance of successful implantation compared to cleavage stage transfers. Additionally, blastocyst culture can reduce the risk of multiple pregnancies. By focusing on the best embryos, fewer embryos need to be transferred, which lowers the likelihood of twins or triplets. Another advantage of blastocyst culture is better synchronization with the uterine environment. The timing of the blastocyst transfer closely mimics natural conception, which may enhance the chances of successful implantation. However, there are some drawbacks to consider. Not all embryos will develop into blastocysts, which means there is a risk of embryo loss during the extended culture period. Furthermore, the longer culture time can increase the overall cost of the IVF cycle. On the other hand, cleavage stage transfer has its own set of benefits. This method is generally less expensive since it requires less time in the lab. Additionally, because embryos are transferred earlier, there is a lower risk of losing valuable embryos due to extended culture. However, cleavage stage transfers may have lower implantation rates. The embryos may not be as well selected as those that reach the blastocyst stage, which can lead to fewer successful pregnancies. Also, to compensate for lower implantation rates, more embryos might be transferred, increasing the risk of multiple pregnancies. For individuals with endometriosis, the choice between these two methods should be personalized. Endometriosis can affect the quality of the uterine environment, which may impact embryo implantation. Therefore, selecting the healthiest embryos through blastocyst culture could offer advantages in terms of implantation success. In summary, blastocyst culture is often seen as superior due to its potential for higher implantation rates and reduced risk of multiple pregnancies. However, the best choice depends on individual circumstances, including embryo quality, age, and specific fertility challenges. Consulting with a healthcare provider is essential to determine the most suitable approach based on personal needs and medical history.